Frontier and the Planet Coaster team have given me an exclusive look into what the free update for the first update for Planet Coaster will have. A huge shout out to Frontier for even letting us see this information to begin with as we check out every single thing that this update will have. A lot of it is going to be a lot more kind of like hands off than anything else really, especially the angle snap stuff. This stuff it's going to be great. It's going to be great without like anyone batting an eye. We will be able to trigger it on and off. We can see this new UI right over here. You can see that the tick boxes are actually right there, so you can turn on angle snap, you can turn on length, all that wonderful stuff, and it's going to be accessible right in the menu. I am hoping that there's a hotkey for all this stuff. Unfortunately, I was muted and deafened when I was watching this video to begin with, so I'm really hoping that we'll have some, at least, control over that. The next update feature, I guess, really isn't the craziest thing in the world, too. It's going to be the fact that the browser stays open when you're actually placing down items, when you're placing down blueprints and all that stuff. Currently, if you play Planet Coaster, it does not work like that, which is kind of a pain when you're working in, like, big blueprint groups, or if you're working on trying to get your scenery and your parks to look good. Usually, it just, like, it was such a kind of time sink to keep on reopening the menu, keep on retyping in whatever it was you were originally looking for. So I think that this update feature, while it does not seem very significant, is going to be so handy for all of your builds in the future. And honestly, I'm just going through this as Kat kind of gave it to me. Huge shout out to Kat, yay. But the next item that we have on our list is custom supports. There's not really much to this, but you can see that we actually are able to see so many wonderful support pieces. These are all kind of just ripped from the individual coasters in game, which is very good. So that's honestly so awesome to see. The fact that we are finally going to be able to have these plethora of new pieces on hand. Really, this is just incredible because I'm not looking at this from a coaster point of view. I'm looking at this from a builder point of view and seeing all these wonderful support pieces. There's so many awesome kind of like shapes and textures in here. I see some metals, I see some concretes. These are all so good, and I can't wait to play with these. And the next, I guess, is something that's important to Mr. Stan Wolf. I play in bordered window mode, so I can do other things while I'm playing this game. But this is for your full screen girlies. We finally have edge scrolling back. So that's going to be really, really awesome. If you really want to get around your map really easily, this is going to be so helpful. Again, this is very much part of the line of things where it's like, it's really just play to believe it, you know? Okay, this is the biggest one right here. We only see 2 of these items in here, but we do have a plethora of fireworks to play with now. These are going to be so fun to work with, especially for like anyone who's making a park and then you finish the park, you really want to end it with a bang, quite literally. These fireworks are going to come in so clutch. As you can see currently, there are only 2 things that are being shown. You got the Planet Coaster 2 logo, and you also get kind of like a splash kind of looking crown thing. Really, I'm not sure what you guys are going to make with these, but I know that there are going to be some very incredible people making some very incredible works with these. I can't wait for that. So yes, this is going to be coming like relatively soon. Very excited for that. But what I'm so excited for is all the stuff that we're not seeing in here. I really hope that we get a huge assortment of fireworks. Just because if we get some basic shapes, we could honestly make anything we want. And I hope we get some like classic fireworks too, like Roman candles and whatever else. I don't know. I think that'll be a really awesome thing to have, especially for Planet Coaster. Okay, this is mine. This is my money right here. The glass pieces. You can see in the bottom left that we get an assortment of 6 different glass pieces, and they're all able to be scaled up to about 300% it seems, which is kind of cool. Really wish they could scale them up to 500% just so we could, you know, take all the training wheels off, I guess. I don't know. But it is very awesome that we finally have glass pieces and scalable ones at that too. I think that's going to be very, very handy to work with. So yeah, and they look good. Like you can see right through them. There's just a little bit of like frost on them, which is good. And they have some pretty cool looking shadows, but they're not too obtrusive. So I think that's going to be very helpful, especially for people making like indoor water parks, indoor roller coaster parks, all that stuff. I think that's going to be so fun, and I can't wait to see what everyone makes with them. Okay, I gotta laugh at this B-roll footage that they sent because it's just turning the guest capacity up to about 120,000, which is great. Like if you're a PC player and you have kind of like a beefy PC, you can finally let an ungodly amount of guests into your parks. But this video doesn't show anything. I just find that so freaking funny. But yeah, that is a feature now, I guess. I honestly I feel like the amount of guests we currently have in game is overwhelming enough. Paths get so congested like already. I have no idea why. But hey, it's in the game now. It's here. We can have mega parks. Sure. Okay, this is probably the biggest thing in here. These are the unload and offload stations. So basically you can see that you just kind of build your track up and then you can choose whatever loading station you want, which is going to be so cool. I know in the footage that they sent to us, or they showed to us, they will need an exit. It's going to look like an exit at least, and that's because in order to get the kind of not keepers, oh my gosh, in order to get the mechanics on there to fix the rides whenever they break down, they're going to need like an actual accessible kind of platform, I suppose. So that's just something to keep in mind, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, the new exit station. Yeah. So currently I don't have the information on what kind of rides this will be applicable for. We can see it works on the energy coaster. That's great, but I'm very curious to hear, is this going to work for all the rides? Is this like only limited to like, you know, like 5 rides out of like the 50 that we currently have in Planet Coaster? I have no idea, but that's just something to keep in mind. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. Okay, this one, like, new coaster UI. Okay, this one, I don't know how I'll feel about it because it looks cool and it looks clean, but I like the old UI. Like, I didn't really see an issue with it. I thought it was cute. I thought it was like, I don't know, it gave each ride kind of its own... I don't know how to describe it, but I'm not really the biggest fan of this change. It looks clean. It looks so clean, do not get me wrong. And it's just going to be so easy to navigate now, I suppose. But I feel like it takes away a lot of the charm. It's not like the animal market or like scenery pieces in both Planet Zoo and Coaster, where it's like these things are lifeless. They're not really big focal points of your park, you know? No, I felt like the UI originally was so good because it felt like you're not going to have a amusement park with 500 coasters, you know? You're probably going to have like at least maybe 20 if you're like a huge park, really. But in my parks, I'm probably only going to have like 5 to 10. So I feel like this, I don't know, I felt like it was such a big thing when we could see like the bigger picture of it on the screen. That's just me personally. I don't know. I thought that was, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this change. Okay, and the biggest thing to me right over here has to be the tracked rides customization. We can see it on the bus right here. Again, it's not really the one I wanted, but it's fine, I guess. It's fine. Yeah, we can put items on the bus now, which is great. I really hope we have that available at least for basically all the other tracked rides. I'm sorry. They kind of specified for applicable tracked rides. So I'm really hoping that we do get some actual ones, I guess. I don't know. Okay, I think we're sort of nearing the end right here. Yeah, this is the last one. This is the water line, where if you go into the water and then you come out of the water droplets kind of like stay on the screen for a little bit. This is the stupidest thing they've added, but it just makes me happy. It just makes me very happy. I don't know. It looks very satisfying, and I'm so here for that. Alright, and that's pretty much it for update number 1 of Planet Coaster 2. Very excited for all of that stuff. Yeah, I'm just so excited to see what this has in store for us. It's going to be a very, very fun kind of rollout for this game. So yeah, let me know what you guys have to say about this update. Do you think that this is going to fix some of the issues? Like, personally to me, one of my biggest issues was the fact that the color selector tool was just like not working how I wanted it to. So that's going to be very awesome. Not only that, but I'm just going to go rapid fire through this information sheet because there's so much stuff in here. But yeah, edge scrolling, browser tabs remain open while in tool menus, color picker adjustments, that is my favorite one right there. Input field no longer requires the hashtag when adding manual colors to that. I don't think it even required it to begin with, which is kind of crazy, but sure. I think they're just removing the hashtag from there. And there's just a whole bunch of other stuff in here, like just increased UI responsiveness. There's some control adjustments so that return to browser option will work when inside of the track editor. That's always good. PC players angle snap and other sliders that have an off option will have functionality for easy toggling. I'm really hoping that means hotkeys. But that's all good. And like, you know, the custom roller coaster UI into the object browser. Not really the biggest fan of that, Frontier. Not really the biggest fan of that. I don't know. It looks cleaner, but I don't know. It doesn't really have the same soul. There's also a new guest heat map, this is going to be so helpful for like franchise and career mode, where you can see guest tolerance for fear, nausea, and ride height, which is going to be very cool. I already beat career. Long ago, but that's going to be really awesome stuff right there. But there's a whole bunch of other details when it comes to this. Janitors finally do their work, which is fun. Servicing jobs are called earlier, so mechanics can get to rides before they even break down. A whole bunch of new custom coaster supports and glass pieces. That's it for the scenery. Water visuals, that's all good. And yeah, there's just so much awesome stuff in here. We can change the weather. How could I forget about that? We can finally have good weather. I'm really hoping that we're not just triggering in between rain and sun. Really hoping that we're going to have the option to trigger it to go into more like a cloudy, kind of like overcast kind of day. Fingers crossed. Huge fingers crossed right there. But besides that, they're removing the Planet Coaster 2 logo from the paths. Thank God, I guess. I don't know. And just a whole bunch of bug fixes. Jittering special pieces, all that stuff is going to be fixed, and performance fixes as well for anyone who thinks that their game isn't working. I don't know how that's happening. I really don't. My game is working just fine, but hey, maybe I have the little magic in me. Who knows? But that is it for the update. Oh my gosh, there is a whole bunch of stuff in here. But I think that is it for update 1. I might have missed one or two things, but they really weren't like, you know, the crowd pleasers, you know? Let me know what you guys have to say about this update in the comments down below. I'm very excited to hear what your thoughts are. Like, does this fix the game for you? Is this finally going to get you to play the game if you're not currently playing it? But I don't know. I'm just very excited that we have these small quality of life fixes, because I care more about that stuff in an update than scenery pieces or like any other thing, because if I can play the game easier, that's all I care about. So that's really it. Thank you so much for watching. I always do appreciate it. Looking forward to this update, which shall be dropping. I don't think I have a release date. Do I? I don't know. Check other people's videos. I'm done. It's late. I'm going to bed. Have a great night, everyone, and have the most wonderful of wonderful days. Bye-bye now.